Man, what a show tonight. Yeah, look at this smile on Logan Paul's face. This arrogant douchebag. Someone, man, what a terrible show tonight. Terrible show tonight. Name my topic tonight is called. I'm the Godfather. Wait, hold on. The Godfather Soldiers from Swimming. Name my topic tonight is called Goofy and Gaslit and Goofy in Greensville, South Carolina. Will Saturday's main event and Battleground be this good? Be good this weekend. So much I say. Before I do, I'm gonna show a little bit of music for the last time, because I know it's sometimes some of you think it's it gets too long, so this is gonna be the last time I play music, because I'm next week, because another day, a couple of days, few days, on when I do with my next segment for my next review for AEW this Wednesday. I might do something a little bit different. So this is gonna be the last time. Maybe I can do a little bit do a little bit more for a little bit, and so I'm gonna open up show this music this song by Desiree by British R&B singer Desiree called You Gotta Be. So stick around, right back, get it playing. This for last time, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was Desiree. That was you gotta be. You got heard. All of you just heard by Desiree. That was on the R&B charts in 1994 and 95 in the United States. Let's get the show on. Let's get the show on with tonight's terrible show. Okay, I'm gonna give you all of you my. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you all of you my predictions for a show for NXT and NXT for Saturday night's main event, NXT Battleground. While I get done doing my review. Then now together the WWE video leads us right into the show. The Raw video plays and we're brought into the ring. Michael Cole, Booker T, and JBL welcome us to the show. In the ring is a small table with a red cloth on it. Oh wait a minute, hold on, wait, hold on, maybe messed up. Wait, hold on, wrong one. Sorry about that. Let me start over again. Then now together forever. Then now forever together. WWE leads us into the show. Last week on Raw, World Heavyweight Champion main event Jey Uso, helped CM Punk and Sami Zayn fight off the Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker. Tonight, Jey Uso will battle Braun Breaker. Seth freaking Rollins is shown arriving alongside Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso is also shown arriving earlier today. AJ Styles is also in the building, as his tag team partner for the night, Penta. The Judgment Day arrive as a unit. Logan Paul addresses his World Heavyweight Championship match on Saturday night's main event. The Maverick Logan Paul makes his entrance to a loud blues. Paul says to ringside and grabs a Prime Energy drink before taking a sip. Paul says, "Hey yo, welcome to Monday Night Raw." Crowd boos him, and I don't blame him. This is a fact that he will beat Jey Uso this Saturday. No, you won't. When he returns to this ring next Monday on Raw, Logan Paul will be your next World Heavyweight Champion. Paul gets massive boos for that. Paul asks if Greenville doesn't like the facts. He has more. Fact: Jey Uso is the current World Heavyweight Champion. Yeet. Fact: Jey Uso tapped out at Gunther at WrestleMania. Yeet. And that's no, you don't do the yeets, Logan Paul. Jey Uso does that. Paul the fans chanting yeet. What am I talking about? Fact: Jey Uso tapped out of Gunther at WrestleMania. Paul tells the crowd not to yeet. They disobey, frustrating Logan Paul. Shut up. Fact: Logan Paul won a singles title 12 years faster than Jey Uso. Fact: Jey Uso cannot handle the weight of being a world champion. Fact: Jey Uso has eyes on everyone in the company except Logan Paul. The biggest fact is that his most favorite is knocked out Jey Uso out 3 times. Paul is going to do it again this Saturday. When he does, Logan Paul will become your new World Heavyweight Champion. Ring General Gunther makes his way to the ring to a nice ovation. Gunther will challenge the winner of Jey Uso. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. What I was saying. Okay. I was saying. Paul tells the crowd not to yeet. They disobey, frustrating Paul. In fact, Logan Paul won a singles title 12 years faster than Jey Uso. It's a lie. In fact, Jey Uso cannot handle the weight of being a world champion. In fact, Jey Uso has eyes on everyone in the company except Logan Paul. The biggest fact and his most favorite is he knocked out Jey Uso out 3 times, and Paul is going to do it again this Saturday. When he does, Logan Paul will become your new World Heavyweight Champion. Hell no. The ring general Gunther makes his way to the ring to a nice ovation. Ring general Gunther will challenge the winner of the World Heavyweight Championship match at Saturday night's main event. The crowd chants, "You tapped out." Gunther says Paul seems very confident that he can beat the guy who beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Gunther needs to assume that Paul is standing out here believing he's better than him. Gunther likes confidence. It drives them in life. If Gunther is being honest, the people should show Paul way more respect than they do. Gunther says they may be jealous because Paul is a self-made social media megastar. With his own hands, he built a digital empire. Paul is looking quite smug. Gunther says there are things he can learn from. Paul. Paul says Gunther is right and smart. Gunther says he is not done. Gunther thinks Paul can teach him something. His social media needs help. Paul's interpretership and companies are great. Logan Paul as the World Heavyweight Champion will be great for business. Paul says the ring general Gunther knows business. Gunther says this is just a business to Logan Paul. Business to Logan Paul. To Paul, it's just business. To Gunther, this is very personal. Beating Jay for a World Heavyweight Championship is very personal to him. So if Paul takes it that way from him, he'll take that as a disrespect. Gunther tells Paul to ask Pat McAfee how he feels after being disrespected by non-wrestlers. Wow. He's crossing the line. At least McAfee shows some heart. When he looks into Paul's eyes, he doesn't see heart. Gunther says if Paul beats Jey Uso, he squares off against Gunther on June 9th in Phoenix. All Paul's accolades will mean nothing. The bell will ring and he'll eat Paul alive. The crowd cheers and Gunther leaves the ring. Paul asks why Gunther is walking away from Logan Paul. The crowd cheers as World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso sneaks from behind, and lays Paul out for a super kick. Uso says, "Fat, I'm going to see you on Saturday. On Gunther, I'll see you in Phoenix." 4 letters. 1 word. Yeet. Highlight Night presented by Papa John's. Last Monday on Raw, Rhea Ripley and the World and Women's World Champion Io Sky defeated Julia and Roxanne Perez. After the match, Julia walked off on Perez. Earlier tonight, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce signed Roxanne to Monday Night Raw. Roxanne rebelled the man whore Becky Lynch and Natalya in a Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Rhea Ripley will also battle Zoe Stark and Kairi Sane in a Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Penta makes his entrance and he'll team with AJ Styles next. On the video, June 28, 2024 edition, Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson squared off in Madison Square Garden. Later tonight, Tyrese Halliburton will talk about that incident. He'll have a massive announcement. Backstage segment, World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso is walking backstage when he sees Paul Heyman. Heyman says that was interesting. Logan Paul wants to talk about the facts, but Heyman has some rooted in some wisdom. Everyone says he betrayed Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but to betray someone, you have to stab them in the back. We have to do something untoward. Heyman's going to do something so he can't be accused of betraying World Heavyweight Champion. Fact, Uso is going to fight Braun Breaker. Fact, the World Heavyweight Championship is not on line, something Heyman never negotiates. Fact, Braun Breaker is not looking for the title. Fact, Braun Breaker just wants to show Uso's momentum. Fact, Gunther and Logan Paul are short term. The long term solution is Seth freaking Rollins. Heyman walks off and says the coffee is terrible. Tonight's main event will see World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso battle Braun Breaker. Tag team match, Penta and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Judgment Day, and JD McDonough versus Carlito. Referees Eddie Orango. AJ Styles will start the match against Jey Uso against JD McDonough. They lock up and McDonough backs him into a corner. Styles turns him around and gives a clean break. The crowd chants AJ Styles. McDonough kicks Styles, but Styles soon bounces him in the corner, chopping before the chest. Styles whips him in the opposite corner before running into a boot. McDonough charges, but Styles hits a back body drop. Styles wrenches the arm, so McDonough twists through and takes Styles down. Styles whips McDonough off and goes for a drop kick, but McDonough holds the ropes. And McDonough shows off and hits the ropes, but Styles connects with a drop kick. Penta tags in and kicks McDonough in the ribs. Penta grabs the arm and signals for a sacrifice, but Finn Balor runs in. Penta knocks Balor back and hits McDonough with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Balor meets the same fate as Penta gets Styles and Balor and McDonough out of the ring before hitting stereo planches. Then we go to commercial break. Back from the break, McDonough is applying a chin lock to Penta during the break. Carlito get a cheap shot on Penta. Back to live action. The Judgment Day hits Penta with some quick tag offense. McDonough puts Penta on top of the rope and clubs to the back. McDonough climbs, but Penta elbows him off. Balor quickly tags in and he clubs Penta. Balor rips the mask and the crowd loudly boos. McDonough tags in and clubs Penta on the ropes. McDonough goes McDonough goes back for a superplex, but Penta turns into a crossbody splash. Balor quickly tags in and stops Penta from making the tag. Balor stomps away at Penta before bouncing him in the corner. Balor chops Penta down and taunts the crowd. Balor hits a snap brainbuster for a 2 count. Balor applies a rear chin lock and clinches it in. Penta fights it up, but Balor sends him to the ropes. Balor lowers his head and eats a kick. Penta knocks McDonough off the apron and hits Balor with a reverse sling blade. Balor tags in and takes it to Balor before hitting a basement forearm. Styles splashes him in the corner and lifts him. Balor rakes the eyes. Styles fights back with a calf crusher. Styles pulls Balor over as McDonough attempts to splash him. McDonough hits Balor instead. Styles hits McDonough with a sit-out facebuster for a near fall. I don't see where McDonough is tagged in. McDonough hits Styles on the apron. Styles knocks him to the floor and punches Balor back. Styles hits McDonough with a moonsault block off the apron and reverse DDT on the floor. Carlito sends Styles into the ring post. Then go to commercial break. Back from the break, we hear the crowd chanting, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Styles fights up from a submission attempt by Balor. They hit the ropes and take each other out. Penta and McDonough tag in. McDonough trips as he gets in the ring, and Penta hits him with a cross body block. Penta and McDonough tagging in. McDonough trips as he gets in the ring and hits him with a cross body block. Penta hits a pair of clotheslines followed by a running hurricanrana. McDonough reverses a whip to the corner and charges, but Penta turns him upside down and super kicks him, and Penta knocks Balor off the apron and hits the ropes, but McDonough hits him with a Spanish fly. Balor tags in and he hits the ropes for a coup de grace. But Penta moves and Penta hits Balor with a step of enziguri before hitting him with a sacrifice. Balor screams in pain. Balor counters a Penta driver and a roll up for a 2 count. Balor quickly drops him with a sling blade before going to the corner. Going to the corner. Balor charges for a drop kick, but Penta super kicks him. Penta hits the top rope. Medina is distracting the referee. Carlito grabs Penta, but Penta kicks him away. Styles hits Carlito with a flying forearm off the apron. Medina then crushes Styles with a suicide dive. Penta then jumps off the steps and hits Medina with a Mexican destroyer on the floor. All of a sudden, El Grande Americano, Chad Gable grabs Penta from the crowd and hit Butson with a loaded mask. Balor takes the advantage and gets Penta in the ring. Balor hits Penta with a chop coup de grace for the win. Wins by pinfall on Judgment Day. A really good they shitting on Penta tonight. They shitted on him tonight, man. Damn. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Raw Women's World Champion Io Sky. She asks how she feels about the winner of the Money in the Bank potentially challenging her. The man whore Becky Lynch walks up to her and says Sky has never defeated her one-on-one. Sky says she'll be ready for anyone. Lynch says she has already put one champion down and he will do it again. The Kramer follows Lynch as he heads through the backstage area. The tell him gorilla position and onto the stage. She'll bow Roxanne Perez and Natalya next. Then we go to commercial break. Backstage segment. Logan Paul is on the phone complaining that he wants to go home. Seth freaking Rollins walks up and says Jey Uso will be hurt tonight for a strike sticking his nose into his business. Whether he walks out or leaves on the stretcher tonight, he won't be 100% on Saturday. The odds are on Paul's favor. If he can't get past Jey Uso and Gunther, Rollins will be waiting on the other side. Paul will know who to thank if he has the World Heavyweight Championship on his shoulder. Maybe they can run it back from WrestleMania a few years ago. Except this time the World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Ron tells Paul to think about it. In the background, we see the World Heavyweight Champion, the Raw Tag Team Champions New Day with Austin Theory. And here we go with this women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, triple threat match. The man whore Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Roxanne Perez. Referee is Danilo Efebio. The bell rings. We see the Money in the Bank briefcases hanging over the ring. Becky Lynch talks to Roxanne Perez about teaming up before turning on her. Perez knocks Lynch out of the ring. Natalya rolls Perez up for a 2 count. Perez goes over Natalya and slaps her. Natalya blocks her with a kick sweeps the feet. Lynch pulls Natalya out of the ring and sends her into a barricade. Lynch then gets in the ring and stares at Perez. Lynch goes for a manhandle slam, but Perez counters her for a roll up for a 2 count. Lynch kicks out and goes for a disarmer. Perez counters into a crossface attempt into running into a pinning combination for Lynch disarms her again. Perez rolls through and applies a crossface. Natalya breaks it up and with a basement drop kick. Natalya grabs Lynch and hits a snap suplex, and Natalya hits another on Lynch and covers for another 1 count. Hold on a second. Oh, that was just a little audio message. The little sound you just heard. Covers for a 1 count. As I said, Natalya stands on Lynch's legs and applies a Mexican surfboard. Natalya soon kicks Lynch down and sets up for a sharpshooter. Lynch fights out and applies a disarm her. Perez runs in and hits Lynch with a Hurricanrana. Hurricanrana DDT. Lynch avoids a cartwheel knee drop from Perez. Natalya goes for a sharpshooter, but Perez kicks her away. Natalya avoids a manhandle slam and attacks Perez. Natalya spikes Perez on her tailbone before stepping on her and hitting a running boot. Lynch grabs Natalya, but Natalya does a standing switch. Lynch elbows her, but she has a whip reverse. Lynch gets out of the ring, and Perez is out of position, causing Lynch to yell, "Roxy, Roxy." Perez eventually gets in the ring and knocks Natalya out of the ring. Perez takes them both out with a suicide dive. Perez back from the commercial break. Back from the break. Perez hits Natalya with a scissor takeover. Perez hits Lynch and Natalia with running uppercuts in the corner. Lynch follows her to the opposite corner, but she hits Natalia when Perez moves. Lynch grabs Perez, but Natalia takes them both out with a double clothesline. Natalia stacks Perez and Lynch before attempting a double sharpshooter, but to fight off. Perez takes them down and sets them up side by side. Perez hits a moonsault on both women and covers Natalia for a 2 count. Perez sidesteps a boot from Lynch. And counters a manhandle slam into a pin for a 2 count. Perez goes for a pop rocks on Lynch, but Lynch fights off and hits a manhandle slam for slam. 1-2, Natalia breaks up the pin. Natalia covers Perez for a 2 count. All 3 women are down. Perez rolls out of the ring. Lynch and Natalia are beginning trading right hands. Natalia hits the ropes, but Lynch falls in for a club. Lynch hits the ropes, but Natalia follows her in for a club. Perez hits him over and hits Natalia with a pop rocks, and Natalia hits Lynch with a German suplex. Natalia covers Natalia 1-2. Lynch breaks up the pin. The crowd chants Roxy. Perez exchanged blows in the center of the ring for slapping away each other. Lynch uppercuts and kicks her. Perez hits another light suplex before heading to the top rope. Lynch cuts her off and sets up for a suplex. Natalia grabs Lynch for a powerbomb before driving her into Perez. Natalia hits Lynch with a suit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Natalia attacks Perez with a seat on top of the rope. Natalia hits a suplex off the second rope for a near fall. Natalia quickly goes for a sharpshooter and locks it in on Perez. Lynch breaks it up with a bulldog on Natalia. Natalia rolls Lynch up before hitting a clothesline. Natalia goes for another sharpshooter on Perez for grabbing Lynch. We see have another double sharpshooter here. Both women grab the bottom rope. Lynch pulls herself out of the ring as Natalia drags Perez into the center of the ring. Lynch runs in and hits Natalia with a manhandle slam. And all of a sudden, Women's World Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria pulls Lynch out of the ring and attacks her. Lynch fights her off, but Valkyria pulls her out of the ring. In the ring, Perez hits Natalia with a pop rocks for the win. Wow. Unbelievable. Lyra, the same woman. Unbelievable. Can you believe it? Lyra Valkyria, the same woman. The same woman who lost. The same woman, Lyra Valkyria, the same. Unbelievable. Can you believe it? Lyra Valkyria, the same woman who lost the NXT Women's title to Roxanne as NXT Stand and Deliver 2020 for last year comes to her aid to qualify. Wow. Roxanne joins Alexa Bliss of SmackDown in Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Okay, now we see a little backstage saying wherever champion Jey Uso is looking at his title when Sami Zayn walks in. Zayn says he'll take care of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker on Saturday. He's got Uso's back. They slap hands and they embrace. Kairi Sane returns to the ring later tonight. Wow. She is shown warming up. We also see Zoe start taping up her wrist, and we see the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, preparing. Sheamus makes his entrance to heel face Grayson Waller next. Replay in 2012, Michael Cole battled John Cena in the main event of Raw from Greenville, South Carolina. Pat McAfee broke down Cena's beating of Cole, including slathering him with some barbecue sauce telestrator. Yeah, and now we got and Michael Cole. And now we got Cena acting like an ass, and everything you said about Cena was right. Raw general manager at the MC to go to Raw general manager's office. Raw general manager Adam Pearce is with Kira Tozawa, Maxine Dupree. Pierce asks if this is what Tozawa wants. Tozawa nods Pierce says Tozawa will battle Otis next week. Chad American May walk in. Gable says Alpha Academy will be put away for good. Gable wants some qualifying matches for him and Ivy now. Road Tag Team Champions New Day walk in. Gable says their titles are coming to his team next week. Pierce kicks them all out of his office. Xavier Woods says it smells like midlife crisis in here. Sheamus versus Grayson Waller with Austin Theory. The bell rings and they circle the ring. Sheamus easily avoids Waller's offense. Waller slaps Sheamus in the face and runs away. Sheamus chases him back in the ring. Waller hooks a side headlock, but Sheamus whips him off and absorbs a shoulder tackle. Waller applies a side headlock and clinches it in. The crowd chants, "Let's go, Sheamus." Sheamus powers Waller into the corner. Waller turns Sheamus and retreats. Sheamus grabs the arm and applies an overhead wristlock. Waller twists out and takes Sheamus down. Sheamus picks up the leg and applies a side headlock. Sheamus puts him in the corner. Waller fights back, but Sheamus stops the whip. Sheamus rocks Waller with a slap to the face. Sheamus connects with an Irish curse backbreaker for throwing him across the ring. Sheamus throws Waller again before hitting a clothesline over the top rope. Sheamus grabs Waller outside, but Austin Theory distracts him. Waller knocks Sheamus into the ring post and boxes him off the commentary table. Waller then clotheslines him down on the floor. Back from commercial break. The crowd is chanting for Austin Theory. What a joke. Give me a break. Waller attacks Sheamus in the corner, but Sheamus absorbs the chops and clubs. Sheamus wants more. Sheamus turns to Waller and chops away at him. Sheamus sends him into the corner and charges, but Waller slingshots him over him and stomps him down. Waller leaves the ring and leaps him in for a Rolling Thunder Fatliner for a near fall. Waller comes off the ropes, but Sheamus crushes him with a knee to the face. Sheamus is fired up and clotheslines Waller in the corner. And Sheamus connects with a tilted world power slam before applying a neck vice. Sheamus powers him into his shoulder by the head and slings him off. Sheamus then applies a clam clutch and rips his face. Waller elbows him, but Sheamus fights back. Waller walks him with a forearm that knocks him into the apron. Waller grabs Sheamus and starts the 10 beats of Battleground. Sheamus blocks and goes for the white noise on the apron. Sheamus jumps off the apron, and Waller just falls to the floor. That looked rough. Sheamus gets Waller up on the apron for the 10 beats, but Waller jumps off the apron, quickly jumps off before receiving the club. Theory stops Waller. Sheamus grabs Waller and pulls him to the apron for 10 beats of Battleground. Theory turns his head and laughs at the misfortune of his tag team partner. Sheamus gets the crowd going and clubs to the chest. Sheamus now likes Waller a bro kick for the win. Winner by pinfall, Sheamus. And it looks like A-Town Down Under is nearing the end. And I was never a fan of those two guys anyway. Video. Earlier today, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee spoke with Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. Halliburton will be part of a downloadable package for WWE 2K25. Halliburton says he enjoyed being in the ring last year and is excited to be a playable character. Cole mentions the confrontation with Jalen Brunson last year. Now they'll be to square off in the playoff game. Halliburton is excited about it. Halliburton has more correlative merchandise with WWE. McAfee asked about the Eastern Conference Finals. Halliburton is excited. Cole gets biased toward his favorite team, the New York Knicks, prompting McAfee to chastise him. Halliburton thinks Jey Uso will be victorious at Saturday night's main event. That was funny. Yeah, here's a Saturday night's main event card. They were showing CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker. Tag team match. An undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Champion John Cena versus R-Truth in his non-title match. And we'll see a steel cage match: Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. A World Heavyweight Championship: Logan Paul versus Jey Uso. And we go to the backstage interview. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Gunther before he can speak. Seth freaking Rollins walks up to him. Rollins says what Gunther did for his World Heavyweight Championship was pretty good. Gunther was a pretty good champ. Rollins says Rollins is short-sighted for a visionary. Gunther says he is the future around here. Rollins says cut the crap. He came out here out of professional curiosity for someone he thought had respect for. Gunther finds himself the title. He'll be treated no differently from anyone else. Gunther will make himself targeted. Gunther says, "Please, I cannot wait. In fact, I'm eagerly waiting." Gunther walks off. This is my brutality. Rhea Ripley makes her way to the ring. Eradicator will battle in the Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Here we are, the Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match: Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark versus Kairi Sane. Referee is Sean Bennett. The bell rings. We're underway. And Zoe Stark goes after Kairi Sane. Rhea Ripley grabs Stark and they trade roll-ups. I was really shocked to see Kairi Sane back. It really shocked. It really shocked me. They trade rolls. Stark takes Ripley down. A "Let's Go Mommy" chant picks up. Stark sends her to the ropes, but Ripley hits a shoulder tackle. Ripley hits the ropes, leaps over Stark, and hits a dropkick. Zane jumps on Ripley's back, but Ripley slings her off. Zane boosts Ripley back and charges, but Ripley tosses her overhead. Zane gets Stark to the apron and knocks Ripley away. Zane prepares to hit the ropes as she does. Stark goes for a springboard missile dropkick, but she lands awkwardly and immediately grabs her knee. That looked very bad. Serious moment there. The match has come to a complete halt. The WWE doctor runs in to check on Stark. The camera pans away. Back from the break, Ripley is clubbing away at Zayn, and Stark has been removed from the match. Wow. Making it now it's going to be a singles match. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, Kairi. Short-lived. A little comeback. Ripley catches Zayn diving at her and hits a forward slam for a 2 count. Ripley sets up for a prism trap and locks it up. Shane eventually fights out of it. Zayn hits a running forearm and goes to the top rope. Ripley cuts her off, but Zayn headbutts her back. Zayn leaps, but Ripley drop kicks her out of midair for a 2 count. Zayn landed on her knees and seemed to hit Ripley in the head. Zayn fights back and knocks Ripley in the corner. Zayn hits a sliding forearm in the corner and hits the top rope. Zayn goes for an insane elbow where Ripley gets the knees up. They trade blows from the knees. Ripley hits Zayn with a headbutt, followed by Riptide for the win. Winner by pinfall, Rhea Ripley. This means Rhea Ripley joins Roxanne Perez and Alexa Bliss in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Guess this means she's going to go back in the title picture and get back what is hers, the Raw Women's title. Awful moment for both Zoe Stark and awful moment for Kairi Sane. Video, Rusev says he admires Akira Tozawa to stand up for his friend. Rusev was trying to fix Tozawa like he fixed himself. Tozawa has shown himself to be ungrateful. Tozawa has his attention and has a problem. Rusev says Tozawa's arrogance will get him slaughtered. Next week on Monday Night Raw, he braces Tozawa's challenge with open arms after he destroys him. He will forget Tozawa's stupidity. stupidity in existence. Backstage, Ron Breakker is walking backstage with Paul Heyman. Elsewhere, we see the World Heavyweight Champion main event. Jake Soul is preparing. The main event is next. Then we go to commercial break. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum will be on Stephanie McMahon's new podcast. Arrogant little snot-nosed punk. Okay, we see a Judgment Day Clubhouse segment. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum is with Raquel Rodriguez, JD Madonna, Carlito. Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez. Balor introduces Perez as the newest member of the Judgment Day. Balor says they all have backup, but Liv Morgan and Raquel and Rodriguez don't. She's not a member yet. Perez says she's just trying to find her place on Raw. Plus, she has presence. She gives Mysterio a box of nuggies before Carlito giving her a bag of apples. Rodriguez is not happy and says Perez can leave. Rodriguez tells Balor Liv will hear about this. Balor happily says, "Oh, I can't wait." All I can say, all I'm saying is this: Roxanne, I think Roxanne is gonna drive a wedge between Liv and Dum Dum, and this was cause Judgment Day to break up. And I don't blame, I won't blame Liv Morgan when she hears about this. Yeah, Liv Morgan wants to hear about this. He wants. I think. Yeah, Liv Morgan. I think Balor. I think Bill. Ben Balor wants to happy says he can't wait. I don't blame Balor because he wants to because all Balor wants to do is ride in Dum Dum because all Dum Dum wants to do is ride in his coattails. Dum Dum wants to drive. I think Finn Balor wants to turn some of you think that Balor wants to turn Liv Morgan against Dum Dum just because Finn is riding his coattails, and I don't blame. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor on this one. He's gonna try to manipulate Liv Morgan and thinking that Roxanne Dum Dum is cheating on him. Just like this is nothing compared to when Stephanie McMahon had in storylines when a stupid idea playing in Stephanie McMahon's hand that Triple H is cheating on her with Trish Stratus. And something else. And Raquel hasn't forgotten about Elimination Chamber when Roxanne eliminated her, and Roxanne was not happy. Raquel was not happy when that he gave apples to Roxanne. Raquel Reed was not happy that Carlito gave apples to Roxanne. Because Raquel is not happy either. Raquel is not happy because Carlito was having the hots for Raquel since she came in the Judgment Day, and besides, Carlito's too young for Roxanne anyway. He was born. Carlito was born in 1979. Roxanne was born in 2001. So that means they're like 22 years apart. And I know some of you know that we all know that Roxanne has lust for Dum Dum, just like Hulk Hogan had lust for Elizabeth in '89 when Savage turned on Hogan. I know some of you think that's different. Some of you want to disagree with my opinion. Too bad. I have my opinion. All you have yours. Yeah, Finn Balor would love to see. Bill Balor is very happy. He wants to see Liv Morgan and Dum Dum break up. because I don't blame but Finn Balor for being jealous of Dum Dum, because Finn Balor just wants to ride in his coattails. Okay, Fanatics Fest is happening in New York City from June 20th to June 22nd in New York City. Next week we see Money in the Bank qualifying matches: Rusev versus Kirizawa, World Tag Team Champion Triple Threat match, the War Raiders versus the American May versus the New Day, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions. Arena Concourse, the World Heavyweight Champion main event, Jey Uso is in the concourse with the fans. He gets fired up. Uso makes his entrance to a big reception from the crowd. Then we'll see a non-title match, World Heavyweight Champion main event, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. The referee is Rod Zapata. The bell rings. We're underway. The Usos punches away at Breaker. Breaker knees him in the shoulders in the midsection in the corner. Breaker quickly gets in the referee's face. Uso slingshots over Breaker and uppercuts him before hitting a clothesline over the top rope. Uso gets fired up and hits the ropes for a big diving plancha. Then we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Breaker is applying a side headlock. Uso whips him off, but Breaker gets a head of steam for running over Uso with a Riley fast clothesline. Breaker digs his knee into Uso's chest before hitting some forearms to the head. Paul Heyman smiles at ringside. Jey Uso boots Breaker back and comes off the second rope. A crossbody block attempt, but Breaker slams him down for a 2 count. Breaker shoves Uso down and stomps away at him a few times. Breaker nearly spikes on Uso's head with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Breaker grabs Uso by the beard and pulls him up. Breaker shouts he's a bum. Uso fights back with some punches and lays him out. Uso hits a running elbow followed by a snap kick. Uso connects with a running hip attack and covers for a 2 count. Heyman is not happy with what he's seeing. Uso kicks Breaker out of the ring and hits the ropes. Breaker catches him when attempting a suicide dive and bounces him off the commentary table. He hits the steel steps. Breaker comes off the apron with a clothesline off the commentary table. Then we go to commercial break. We come back from the final break of the evening. We see Breaker talking trash to Warrior Champion. Breaker tells him to hit him, so Uso obliges. Breaker attacks and goes for a powerbomb, but Uso gets out of it. They exchange right hands before Breaker knees him in the face. Uso responds with a snap kick followed by a pop-up Samoan drop for a 2 count. Heyman is stunned. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. Uso goes to a top rope, but Breaker cuts him off. Breaker applies a side superplex, setups for a superplex, but Uso knocks him down. Breaker scales to the ropes and hits a Frankensteiner for a near fall. Breaker sets up a spear, but Uso lays him out with a super kick for a near fall. Uso cannot believe it. Uso sets up for a spear, but Heyman gets on the apron. Breaker leaves the ring and he grabs a steel chair. Uso super kicks Breaker and he gets into the ring. The referee knocks the chair out of the ring. Uso hits the ropes, but Uso grabs his feet. Uso goes to the side, goes outside, and Heyman removes his jacket to prepare the fight. All of a sudden, Seth freaking Rollins attacks him from behind. Winning by DQ, World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso. Rollins gets in the ring. Uso tries to fight, but Rollins and Braun Breaker overwhelm him. They double team Uso until Sami Zayn runs down. Zayn gets on the apron, and Rollins and Breaker wait for him to get in the ring. Massive CM Punk fires up. CM Punk makes his way to the ring to an unreal reaction. The crowd's loudly sings the song after it ends. Punk and Zayn get in the ring and brawl with Rollins and Breaker. They clothesline them out of the ring and stand tall. Breaker quickly punches Punk. Zayn and Rollins brawl on the commentary table before Breaker rips them off. Rollins and Breaker attack Zayn into the crowd until CM Punk jumps off the barricade to attack them. They brawl into the crowd. In the ring, Jey Uso picks up the Warrior Champion. All of a sudden, Logan Paul lays him out with a loaded right hand. Paul's tooth is bleeding, but he smiles in the camera as the show ends. Yeah, terrible tonight. Terrible, really terrible tonight. Garbage. Logan Paul cannot beats. Logan Paul, read my lips. You can't beat Jey Uso. I'm telling you, you can't beat Jey Uso. I'm telling you. This is a terrible show. I know how it's going to be turned out for NXT standing for Saturday night's main event NXT stand and deliver. Well, let me give you let me give all of you to um my predictions for Saturday night's main event. Now I guess all of the show was just terrible tonight. Tonight's Raw. Okay, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. Then we go to a tag team match: CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Um, I got a good feeling. It will be a this will be a no contest because I believe Sami Zayn will betray CM Punk and align himself with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. That's what I believe what might happen. I say this will be a no contest. I believe Sami Zayn will turn heel and turn a heel on CM Punk and align with Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker and align with Paul Heyman. Because I got a gut reaction. John Cena versus R-Truth. We all know Cena's gonna win. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna go with Priest for this. Priest. You know what's gonna happen? Priest is gonna win. Y'all know what's gonna happen in a steel cage match. Priest wins. We all see Drew McIntyre gonna act like a little crybaby and all that shit. And let's see. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to NXT Battleground. This Sunday. Omi Femi versus Miles Bourne for the NXT Championship. Yeah, he's a deaf wrestler. I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go with Miles Bourne. I'm gonna go with Miles Bourne. I hope to become the first deaf wrestler to become NXT champion. Next, Stephanie Vicaire versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going with Jordan Grace. Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship. What's going on with WWE making a deal with TNA? This isn't like, this is nothing compared with WWE and with the invasion story angle with WWE, WCW, and ECW in 2001. I'm gonna go with Trick Williams. Tony D'Angelo versus Channing Stex Lorenzo. I'm gonna go with Stingles match. I'm gonna go with Stex. And those are my predictions. Now it's time for something I like to do for all of you. All you know what it's time for. It's time for Justin's Timeline History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, history, and sports, and all that stuff. All you hear that thing is a thing from Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Can't wait for his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. Yeah, on July. I can't wait for his 40th anniversary. July the 3rd, 2012, because the movie was released July 3rd, 1985. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And then let's go to Saturday, May the 17th. Okay. Last Saturday was a happy 37th birthday to Alexandra Sabrina Hart, the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart. She turned 37 last Saturday. And let's see what else. Slim J turned 40 last Saturday. See, Cash Wheeler turned 30. Cash Wheeler, he turned, how old he was, this dude. He turned 38 last Saturday. He turned 38 last Saturday. Cash Wheeler, he's from AEW, Ring of Honor. He was formerly in WWE as a Dash Wilder, I believe. And Ossity Jones, he turned, I know all of you heard of him, Ossity Jones. He turned 31 last Saturday. And now some wrestling history. Let's see. May 17th, 1965. Madison Square Garden, New York City, from one of the WWF Worldwide Wrestling Federation, which is now WWE. Arnold Skaaland defeated Tony Newberry. Miguel Perez Sr. defeated Steve Stanley. Don McClarty defeated Magnificent Maurice. Argentina Paul and Haystack Calhoun defeat Dr. Jerry Graham and Golden Terror fought in a draw, no contest, 2 out of 3 tag team match, 2 out of 3 falls. Big Heart, Chief Big Heart, and Chief White Owl defeated Smasher Sloan and Walter Vera in 2 out of 3 tag team match, 2 out of 3 falls. Bruno Sammartino defeated Bill Waltz in a 2 out of 3 fall match for the WWE title, which then was called the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWE, Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title. Your Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title. Yeah. And on Friday Night Titans, hosted by Friday Night Titans. Vince McMahon welcomes his guests on Friday Night Titans. Laura Alfred Hayes. Guests include the late Soul Man Rocky Johnson, Johnny Valiant, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Wendy Richter. And a couple of movies released on theaters on May the 17th, May the 17th, 1985. Goodbye New York, starring Julie Haggerty, and Ordeal by Innocent, starring the late Don Sutherland, and Still Alive, Faye Dunaway, the late Christopher Plummer, Ian McShane from the British comedy drama and BBC Lovejoy and the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and yeah, I think I got that. And let's see, and on the same day, 2015, Payback took place in Baltimore, Maryland, at CFG Bank Arena, formerly known as the Aurora Farms Arena, in Baltimore Arena. and one Marine, first Marina Center, and 10,000 were in attendance. In a yeah, R-Truth defeated Stardust in a pre-show match. Connor Victory, the Ascension, defeated Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow in a pre-show match. And the show opened up with Sheamus defeating Dolph Ziggler, and Big E and Kofi Kingston and New Day defeated Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship for Raw. Bray Wyatt defeated Ryback, and John Cena sub for Rusev defeated Rusev by submission. I Quit match for the U.S. title match, and Lana had a microphone. He says he quits. Rusev wasn't happy that night. Naomi and Tamina Snuka defeated the Brett Bella twins. Neville defeated King Barrett by countout. And Seth freaking Rollins defeated Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns in the fatal four-way match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship as the show ends. Now, May the 18th, yesterday, May the 18th, birthdays, May the 18th. Yesterday would have been a happy 82nd birthday to WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Kamala would have been 75 yesterday. And Dirty Dick Slater, late Dirty Dick Slater, he would have been he was born in 1951, so he would have been 74 yesterday. Dirty Dick Slater, God rest his soul. One of the best athletes of all time. Yesterday was a happy 34th birthday to Colton Gunn, the son of badass Billy Gunn of the New Age Outlaws and WWE. Colton Gunn, who wrestles in AEW in Ring of Honor. And yesterday, May the 18th, WWF was live in the Boston Garden. Mean Gene Okerlund and Gorilla Monsoon were on commentary. Boston. Boondoggle Spot defeated Salvatore Bellomo, and let's see who won this match here. Wade Hansen defeated Steve Lombardi, known as the Brooklyn Brawler, and Big John Studd with Bobby the Brain Heenan defeated Soul Man Rocky Johnson. And Tito Santana defeated Bruce Barber Beefcake with Johnny Valiant. And Patera defeated, I think Ken Patera defeated Tony Garea by Brian Heenan. The Intercontinental Championship match, Greg the Hammer Valentine with Master Jimmy Hart versus Junkyard Dog. Greg the Hammer Valentine defeated Junkyard Dog. Then we see the match Ivan Putski versus Barry O. Ivan Putski defeated Barry O. And Duke the Dorchester Pete Doherty versus Mario Mancini. And Doherty defeated him, Mancini. And main event here, Hulk Hogan, WWE Champion, and Jimmy Superstar Snuka versus Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, and Mr. Don Morocco, Mr. Fuji. And Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Snuka defeated Orton and Morocco by DQ. In 2015 Monday Night Raw. Let's see Monday Night Raw. Sheamus defeated Ryback. Bad News Barry defeated Neville. Bray Wyatt defeated Dean Ambrose. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro when Natalia defeated the Big New Day and by DQ in a tag team championship match. John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship and in no contest. Dolph Ziggler defeated Stardust. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan defeated Fandango and Zack Ryder. Nikki Bella defeated Naomi and Tamina and DQ and retained the WWE Women's Divas Championship. Then we see a little dark match. John Cena and Roman Reigns defeating Rusev and Seth Rollins. And so y'all see this on that day we saw a return of Stephanie McMahon. Then Rusev breaks up with Lana. And then Kevin Owens confronted John Cena. And Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins' Architected Dream. And then that's something like that. And then all you're gonna see what big surprise what moment this great moment here is when Lana, despite the fact that Rusev broke up with him, Lana that Rusev dumped Lana. This is what happened. Lana kisses Dolph Ziggler. And this is what happened. Listen.
This hurts, but not nearly as bad as losing to Sheamus last night. But hey, I'm a hockey fan, it's hockey playoff time, and chicks dig scars, right? So here we go.
Well, Dolph, speaking of scars, we've been talking all night long about the Elimination Chamber match where the vacated Intercontinental Championship will be up for grabs. 5 competitors have already been entered. 1 spot remains, and I'm here to tell you that that spot will be filled by Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah, about time, Michael. Listen, if I'll do this to get my hands on Sheamus, I promise I'll go through 20 more of these if I have to get my hands on that Intercontinental Championship. Anything else that comes my way, you name it. Anything, any competitors?
Uh-oh. I like this one. I'll take this one on myself. Lana? What the heck is Lana doing here? Rusev threw her out. Rusev got rid of Lana. Rusev said no more Lana. Well, Lana is back and she's looking good. She's always looked good, but she's not supposed to be here. And she's looking happy. He feels better now. This is not going to be good for Dolph Ziggler. You better run, Dolph.
Rusev's going to dump Lana. But here we go. Oh, man. To Rusev.
Tell you something, it's a saying in the hood, Dolph Ziggler, you better watch your back, son.
Yep, big moment right there. Now let's go to see what else. Any sports right here. 11:58 right now. Okay, May 18th, 1985, of the NBA Finals, first ever NBA Finals. 11:59 right. It's 11:59 right now. Let's see. 1975 NBA Finals. The Washington Bullets defeated the Golden State Warriors 95 to 101 in Game 1 of the 1975 the 75 NBA Finals. And now May the 19th. Let's go to May the 19th. Okay. On the WWF Primetime Wrestling, May 19th, 1985. yesterday. Highlights were recaps shown hosted by Mean Gene Okerlund, and show a recap from the April 16, 1985 house show in Poughkeepsie, New York, where the Fabulous Moolah defeated Desiree Peterson at a reversing power slam attempt to inside cradle. And pop culture for yesterday, now it's 12 a.m. right now, 1995 in film. Let's see. 3 movies released in theaters. In theaters nationwide: Die Hard with a Vengeance, starring Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jeremy Irons. Yeah, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson worked together in Pulp Fiction, and young Aldous Hodge was in that movie from Straight Outta Compton, and it's the third installment in Die Hard series. Little Odessa starring Tim Roth and Little Errol Furlong, Maura Kelly, Vanessa Wergay was released. Maximilian Schell was in the movie Tuesday Night with supporting roles. A Little Princess was family movie was released in theater. Little family movie was released in theaters. Little Princess. Wait, hold on, wait. Wait, that was made it. I'm sorry, that was made it. It was released May the 10th. I'm sorry, I made my mistake. That movie, Little Princess. Sorry, it's May the 10th. Sorry. In a movie called Forget Paris, released in theaters, starring Billy Crystal and Deborah Winger. Supporting cast includes Joe Mantegna, who was in that movie, and now let's go to 2005. A movie, SmackDown, 2005 SmackDown. The go home show before Judgment Day 2005. Sky Too Highly defeated Jan Ryan Shalafer with DQ. He's trying to make John Barshale's trying to imagine he's John Cena, making him say I quit. Booker T defeated Mark Jindrak, and Harry Rack defeated Atlanta Jordan. Hardcore Holly, Charlie Haas defeated Joey Mercury with Johnny Nitro and Melina. John Cena defeated Bastion Brothers in 2-on handicap match. And Eddie Guerrero has no words for what he said. He was holding Matt Rey Mysterio's mask, and we see the Carlito Cabana. Matt Morgan, and his guest was Matt Morgan as Big Show's introducing Matt Morgan when Carlito introduced Matt Morgan as his new bodyguard, and Big Show came out wanting to get revenge on Carlito for poison apple, and then he got a little help from Matt Morgan. And then two of them, then Matt Morgan and Carlito run out of the ring. And Big Show has a pissed off lick on his face. And then Booker T, Kurt Angle continues to cross the line with Booker T's wife Sharmell leading up to their match at Judgment Day 2005. And then you see a service announcement by John Barshale about John Cena. Everything he said was true about John Cena. That promo that he's trying to be a piece of shit, Cena. And what else? Movie was released in theaters in 2005 on that day on 2005. See. May the 19th, Star Wars, Revenge of the Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith was released, and this marked the third installment in the Star Wars prequel trilogy and the third chronological chapter of the Skywalker saga. And it stars Samuel, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen, Samuel L. Jackson, and this is a really, really good movie. I love Star Wars. Really good movie. And see what else. In 2015, WWE main event. Ring ding ding, ring a ding ding. Okay, this was shown. This was shown on the Hulu Plus at the Norfolk Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper defeated Fandango and Zack Ryder. Bo Dallas defeated Zack Swagger, and Alicia Fox defeated Summer Rae. And New Day and Bing and Kofi Kingston defeated the Primetime Players Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. And that's it. That will do it. I got everything all covered. And I'm the Godfather Soldier who's slimming. And I hope all of you have a good morning. It's midnight right now. It's a late chair here. I always say, I like to dress up with Chubby Checker, sing like Ernest, dance like James Brown. I like to get in the hot tub. Gonna be sweat. Gonna be dry. Gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live on Comedy Central when I was little. So that'll do it. Now I'm going to close out the show for a little bit of music for the final night. I'll close out the show with his number one hip hop single from 1995 from the Friday movie soundtrack called "Keep Them Heads Ringing" by R&B legend, by hip hop legend Dr. Dre. So I hope all of you good night. Here it is to close out the song, close out the my review. Hope all of you enjoy Saturday night's main event, which is going to be turning out to be a shitty show on Saturday, I believe. So hit like, subscribe to me, and follow me anytime. I can talk about wrestling reviews and entertain you, all of you, sing, dance, and discuss anything culture with all of you. So hope all of you good mornings. It's midnight, it's 12:07. Hope all of you good night. And here's some of the show. This number one hip hop single from 1995 from the Friday movie soundtrack, "Keep Them Heads Ringing" by Dr. Dre. And this is my final time playing music for all of you. I probably might play a little bit of music for all of you sometime in the future, and sometime down the road, and play some clips from television and movies and stuff like that. So have a good night from all of you, and here it is, Dr. Dre's number one hip hop R&B single from 1995, "Keeping Heads Ringing" by Dr. Dre. Good night, everybody. Hold on a second. One second, everybody.